Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a beginner-friendly earband with a twist. This is a simple single crochet pattern that's easy to make, has a great stretch to it, and I will also show you how to make it in 2 colors as well. You can make this with or without a trim. This pattern is made with single crochet going back and forth. We just need to make one big long rectangle, and then you'll have a beautiful earband to wear. I will also show you how to make a really nice straight edge for a perfect finish. If you like my videos, please be sure to like and subscribe. And let's get started. You can use any yarn. I will be using a 4 medium weight yarn, 5mm crochet hook, measuring tape, scissors, and a darning needle. Let's start with a slip knot. We will then do our chains. Let's chain about 12 to 16 stitches. You can make your earband as wide as you would like. Anywhere from 3 to 4 inches is a good start. We will then start our first stitch and the second chain from the hook in that one. We are going to do a single crochet. Insert your hook, pull up the yarn, pull up, yarn over and pull through 2. That is a single crochet. Insert your hook, pull up the yarn, yarn over and through 2. We will continue doing this in each chain across. Here is the last chain, and we will put in a single crochet. Your first row is now complete. We're then going to chain 1 and turn. You can turn your work this way, or you can turn your work the other way. It doesn't matter which way you turn it, just be sure to be consistent on every row. This way, it will give you a nice straight edge. We will then start in the very first stitch, and we will make sure we go all the way through, going under that V, and we will do our single crochet. Going into the stitch, under both pieces of yarn, and single crochet. We now have 1 stitch remaining. Just be careful with this that when you go through, you're getting under both pieces of yarn. Right like that. Don't forget this last stitch on each row. And single crochet. We can then chain 1 and turn, and this row will be repeated. Make sure you're always doing the turn in the same direction. Starting in the very first stitch, do your single crochets and do 1 single crochet in each stitch across. The most important thing is to make sure that you have the same amount of stitches in every row. And you can also see how our edge is starting to form, and it's nice and straight. I will just work to the end of this row with you together, just to make sure you've got the turn correctly. So here is our last stitch, and you can see that V working underneath both pieces of yarn, and finish that last stitch. Repeat this until you have your desired length. In order to find out how it will fit, you need to first measure your head. So you're going to make it 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters shorter than what your head is. So my head is 22 inches, so I'm going to subtract 1 inch. My headband will be 21 inches. Once you have your desired length, you can stop, leave a tail, and cut your yarn. And pull through. We are now ready to join our ends. Weave in your starting yarn. Just weave in and out, and don't worry about it being messy. Always weave your end in against the stretch, and that way your ends will never come loose. We can now fold each end. So starting on one side, fold your end in half. Then take your other side and fold it inwards as well in half. We will then join the two together. Try to line it up as best as possible. When we start weaving in and out, we want to make sure we get through all 4 rows. So let's take our darning needle and just weave in back and forth. So make sure you're getting through each row. You can go right underneath the stitch. So then going back up to the top, go underneath each row. And just continue. Once you get to the end, just make sure that it's all secure. So going through all 4 pieces, just making sure you're getting that corner right there and the end. And you can always have a little look and see. You can kind of open it up. So just do one more stitch in there. And you can just see that the end is nice and secure there at that end. But we're going to do one more in here. And then I'm going to go all the way back down to the beginning. We can then secure our end and cut the yarn. This is how it looks from the inside. And then if you just flip it over, you now have your beautiful earband. Another way to do your stitch is to do it lengthwise. This gives another completely different look. Keep watching so I can show you how to do the 2-color version. Start with your first 2 rows the same as you would start with just one color. When you reach the end of your second row, we're going to insert the hook into that last stitch. We're going to pull up the yarn. You will now have 2 loops on the hook. This is where we're going to stop and add our new color. Finish your single crochet with the new color. We will then chain 1 and just pull your ends snug and turn. We will then do exactly like we've done before. Starting in that very first stitch, we will do our single crochet across. And we're going to do this for 2 rows with this new color. We are now at the last stitch. So insert your hook, pull up the yarn, and now we're going to drop that color, go back to our first color, and finish the stitch. So pulling up that first color, finish the stitch, just give it a little snug, chain 1, and turn. And again, we're going to go 2 more rows. Again, we are on our last stitch. Drop your yarn, pull up the one from below, and finish your stitch. And always give it a little snug. Chain 1 and turn. So continue this all the way along until you have your desired length. You will see on the one side that you'll have these loops as you bring up the new color. I'm going to show you how to cover that up at the end. Once you have reached your correct length, finish your last stitch. And do not cut this yarn. This is what we're going to use to do a trim all the way around. So just pull the loop up so it doesn't unravel. We can then take our other color and we can cut it and weave it in. So weave that end in. We can then weave in our starting ends. You will see on the one side, the ear band looks really good. But if you look on the other side, we do have these loops from bringing up our other color of yarn. We are going to do a reverse single crochet for a trim on this ear band. Let's insert our hook. And because this is a reverse single crochet, we will be going in the opposite direction. So we're now going to just turn our work. So let's chain one and turn the work, because for this one, we are now going to go backwards. We are going to put one stitch at the end of each row. So we're going to start here on the second one of the brown one, but on each color, there's going to be on the end of each row. So we're going to start right there in the second row of the brown, and then you can see there's 2, 2, and 2. So going backwards, insert your hook, pull up the loop. Now you're going to have to kind of give it a little bit of stretch, and through 2. Okay, again, now we're going to go backwards. So back into the loop. So this is into the first white color, pull up, and finish your single crochet. Now we're going into the next white one, insert the hook, pull up, and in. When you're pulling up your yarn, you're putting your hook over the yarn to pull it through. Again, at the end of each row, going in backwards, going over the yarn, pulling up, and through 2. Continue this all the way along, going to the end of each row and doing your reverse single crochet. This gives such a nice finish along the edge, and it'll also hide all of our loops that are there from joining our yarn. Let's do a few more together. Continue this pattern all the way to the end, and I will meet you there. Stop here. Once you have reached the end, we're going to have to turn our work because we're going to just put single crochet straight across. So let's put one single crochet on the end of each chain. It's kind of the back of our beginning chain there. So just find the hole and put one single crochet in each hole. When you've reached that last stitch, we're going to turn again so we can go down the other side with our reverse single crochet. Remember to put one stitch at the end of each row. Once we have reached this corner, we can stop. We can then leave a tail of about 15 inches or 38 centimeters to close our ear band together. Cut your yarn and pull through. This is our right side, or the good side, and it will be facing us. When it is facing us, we will then bring our ends together so we can finish our ear band. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to see everybody again soon. Bye!